Alright, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Matt here, back with yet another video. You guys might be seeing this like a little bit later than I usually post. I usually do every Tuesdays, but something was going on with my camera, so it's just like doing this stuff on the fly. But enough of that. Back into the world of boxing. Obviously, we had great fights this weekend. We had probably the biggest women's fight there's ever been in the sport of boxing. We had Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano take place at Madison Square Garden. Crazy turnout. The atmosphere when I was watching the fight was absolutely like insane. I got goosebumps watching that. Just an all-out war. Definitely didn't disappoint by any means. I saw a lot of interesting points of that fight. I just saw in the beginning, I was surprised by Katie Taylor's ability. She seemed like she was controlling the fight, landing cleaner shots, and seemed to kind of confuse Amanda early on in the fight. But as things seemed to pick up, Amanda kind of like found her rhythm. Shots began to land, and then the fight kind of seemed a little closer. I personally had Serrano winning by just like a slight margin, but I wasn't really upset with the decision. I really thought it could have gone either way. I didn't really make a prediction for that fight because I feel like I was so focused on the Shakur and Oscar Valdez fight, which I'll talk about in a minute. But yeah, these women put on a great display of boxing, and I hope a lot of these fights, more of these fights take place. Respect to Eddie Hearn and even Jake Paul for making this happen. It was a big night for women's boxing. Boxing in general, filling out Madison Square Garden isn't easy, and that atmosphere would look amazing. Amanda was really impressive. She fought like a warrior. They both got hit a lot. I think she hurt Katie Taylor. What would have happened if they were fighting like 3-minute rounds as Amanda had requested earlier? Completely different outcome, maybe. Something to think about. But I also think Katie Taylor she had her moments through within the later rounds. I just think it was a close call. So that's why I couldn't really be mad, even though I personally had Amanda Serrano winning. It is what it is. But congrats to both those ladies. Both should be proud of what they did that night. But moving on to Shakur Stevenson and Oscar Valdez. Another great fight. Shakur kid's just a talent. That fight made me really excited. I thought he put on a great display. That knockdown that took place, I thought was absolutely a knockdown. Oscar, he kind of had his hands out saying that wasn't a knockdown, but I think it was. Caught him with a check hook, put him into the ropes, kind of like Floyd Mayweather did to Ricky Hatton, except the turnbuckle wasn't there. Thank God for Oscar Valdez, but he still kind of bounced off the ropes, and then when he turned around, and then turned around again to get himself situated, Shakur landed another shot that caught him off balance. I just thought it was a beautiful knockdown. That was impressive. He kind of made Oscar look silly, but still respect to Oscar. I think his game plan, I couldn't have drawn that up any better than they did. I thought Oscar did a good job. He wasn't too reckless. Shakur definitely had that power to keep him at bay. Oscar was not throwing reckless because every time he'd get countered. Shakur is too smart. It's hard to fight a guy and try to knock out somebody who's just so technically and defensively sound. I really think of him as a dancer. Taking steps to the side, cutting off angles. When you take one step towards him, he takes one step back. He'll take 2 steps back if he has to. It's just the space that he's able to create, gauging distance. He's for real a technician. Excuse me. I was really impressed with him. He didn't get the stoppage. I don't think anybody expected a stoppage, but still respect, because Oscar Valdez is he's no pushover. He beat the man who was the man, and Miguel Burchell, and didn't only beat him, he knocked him out and stopped him out cold. So this wasn't a fight saying Oscar Valdez isn't who he thought he was. It's just we now know that Shakur is just that much better, which is what we expected. But now with the fight actually taking place, we know that. But yeah, that's kind of my spiel on Shakur and Oscar Valdez. That's a great fight. There was a lot of media kind of setting up the Devin Haney fight, which I like. It's just like it's definitely going to be somewhere down the road, not anytime soon. So as these fights progress, if he wants to stay at 130 and unify all these belts like he said he did, I have no problem with that. He deserves to do whatever he wants. Came off the biggest win of his career. I don't see any guys beating him at 130, so it's hard for boxing fans to kind of not think about the fights that could take place at 135, including Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, all those guys, Tank, Ryan Garcia. These are all good fights that we can't wait to see. If they happen, we don't know who's going to move up, who's going to stay at 130. Stay at 135 or move up to 140, but we'll see. Yeah, that's basically like all I wanted to talk about. Great fights, great night of boxing in general. But yeah, that's kind of my spiel on that night. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Stay tuned for more videos. I'm gonna try to get back on that Tuesday roll. There's a little bit of a setback, but we'll take care of that later. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. If you're new and you're not subscribed, what are you doing? Hit that like button once again, and comment something that you thought about the fight, and I'll try to read them. And I'll see you guys later. Peace.